to confuse people because I do want to go over a buffer because we did get questions on it. Do you want to do that now or do you want to do that later?
So maybe this should be our market movers, a buffer trade.
Okay.
So yes, Liz, pick any product you want and we will talk about the buffer trade. Lots of people ask about it. There are buffer ETFs out there. We're going to show you how you can set up your own buffer.
So we didn't name this. This is from ETFs. It was all the rage. They're called buffer ETFs. And on the resume, this is what they're called. It says you're going to buffer your downside losses by X amount. Are you willing to give up some profits by buffering your losses? Tasty Nation, smartest option traders in the world, know that it is just a covered call and a put spread. That's it.
Right. Covered call and a put spread, or short put long call spread. They're in the world of synthetics. There are many ways you can set it up.
There are many ways you can set it up, but in the buffer, the actual ETF, it was long stock, short a call, and then bought a put spread. That's how they set it up. Now, Jenny and I, like I said, Tasty Nation, smartest option traders in the world, know how to use synthetics. So not to confuse people, when you're doing a buffer ETF, they're saying we are buying this stock, selling this call, and buying this put spread. That's how they do it. Now we know there's a better way.
And so what that does is it gives you, if you're long something, like let's say you're just long the S&P 500, you're going to cap your upside by selling a call and using the credit from that call to buy a put spread to give you a little bit of downside protection. It doesn't give you a complete downside protection, but it gives you a little bit of room to the downside where you don't lose. And that's what the buffer does. Now, we had this position on in a stock that's down $18 today. It gave us protection for, $8.
Yeah,
like
50% of it.
Right, gave us protection for part of the move, but not the whole move down. So let's take a look at a buffer. Is there anything you're interested?
I went to USO. So I went to USO because it's up. It's an oil product. I think it has dollar-wide strikes. So if you wanted to say, I want to get in where it was or close enough to where it was, you could jump back and it would pull back. But you can make money if it continues to go up. You might want to put in a buffer.
Okay, yeah. If you're bullish something, but you want to give yourself a little bit of a protection to the downside, the buffer is a good choice. So Liz, if Liz wants to have a bullish trade in oil on, but not get in right here where oil's trading, a buffer.
Or maybe ride the wave a little bit. This is why I like these in the nearer term. So let's set it up. Let's see if it works. Because I did not vet this. We did not vet this. I'm going to in the weekly. Now USO has 2 days. You'll see this. They have 2 days and 4 days. I'm going to 4 days. So I'm going to Fridays. Okay.
Perfect. This is the end of the week. So this trade's only going to be on for a week, or we're going to have to do some management to it by the end of the week.
Yes, correct. Now this could swing right back down too. And I don't know that we need to put it on in here. I just want to show how it's set up. Okay. So now if you know that you're buying the stock and selling a call against it, and we know that we want to cover all of that, I'm going to buy the just at the money put, and I'm going to go down and sell the just at the expected move put. I'll go to, these markets are really wide. We got to go to something else.
We have to go to something other than USO. If you want something in oil, how about XOP?
It doesn't have to be oil. I was just trying to think of things that have, these are wide markets too.
Right. Okay. All right.
It doesn't have to be oil. It doesn't have to be oil. Let's go with.
How about we do it in gold? I know I know you love gold, Liz. I know you love gold. Why don't we take a look at GLD? This is just the gold ETF.
Gold ETF, it's down, so it's not a bad way to get in.
We don't have to do it in the weekly. We could go to July. This can be a slightly longer term trade. A lot of people, I know people who do the buffer 3 months out.
There are people that do the buffer 3 months out. My personal preference is short term. We can set them up both ways. Let's do the 4 day, and then we'll go out to the farther one as well. Okay.
Okay.
So what you're going to do here is you're buying, I went to the 4 day, you're buying the just out of the money. So I'm going to go with that 409. You're getting $4 for it. And then I'm going to go down and sell the expected move. So the 402. So we've got a $7 wide put spread.
So however wide you make this put spread, that's where you're getting your protection. So if it's from 409 to 402, we're going to have protection down to 402. If gold drops below 402, then we start taking some heat.
Correct. You complete the buffer by then going and creating a covered call, meaning you buy gold and sell a call against it. Jenny and I know that the more capital effective way to do that would be to sell an in the money put, because in the money put does not hold up as much as the long stock. So we know we need to cover about $2.18. So if I look at these calls, I know I can cover it with the 415.
So instead of buying GLD, buying 100 shares of GLD and selling that 415 call, Liz is going to sell the 415 put, which will mimic that position. So that short 15 put is the synthetic version of long 100 shares of GLD and short that 415 call.
So, and if you take a look at this, I toggled it. You'll notice I went from the 409 to 410. It was pennies, but I wanted to show that there's no risk until you get down to that your short strike, your 402.
So for someone who says, geez, gold's down today, I want to put on a long position, but I want to give myself a little bit of room in case it keeps falling. This gives you room down to 402, and then you would really feel the heat on this position because you'd be long, synthetically long, or long 100 shares of GLD because you have that extra short put, and you could lose 1 for 1 to the downside below 402. I don't mind this position in gold, especially since it's down today. We get our break even to 402. It's using $7,600 in buying power. If I wanted this position on and I had a smaller account, or I didn't want to use $7,000, it's a weekly. We can buy something very inexpensively. Like we can go buy that 390 for 40 cents.
I was going 380, but yeah, 390.
Yeah, but that'll save us, $1,000 less in buying power. Here, we cut it down from 7,000 in buying power to 1,200 in buying power. We have the profit potential of $417 if gold pops up, but we've got some room to the downside before we would really lose on this trade. And this is a weekly trade, but there's nothing wrong going further out in time. And the further out in time you go, the more room you can have, that the more wider the put spread can be, where you give yourself more room and more protection to the downside.
It's a pretty interesting trade. I'm gonna clear this. We're gonna go through the process. No, you can't buy something when you go farther out in time. I will tell you that.
No. So going short term allows you to buy some protection. Going further out in time, that protection is a lot more expensive.
And I've been using them shorter term. Let's do one in the 45 day. We're going to go through the exact same principles. The problem is you're going to get to $5 wide strikes, but pretty close. I'm buying the 405 and I'm selling the 385. So I'm collecting 578. Okay.
You're paying.
Yeah, I'm paying 578. I need to collect 578 somewhere else. So I know that I'm going to this 430.
So you're selling that 430 put, that synthetically covered call at the 430 level, and that long put spread, and she shifted it up a little bit. That long put spread of 410, 385 is going to give you a protection to 385. In the weekly, you saw our break even was 402. Here, our break even is going to be 385. So that's a big difference.
I can't get it to where that bar is moving.
Well, you know what? Go put it back to 385. I think that's fair. Go to the analysis page and show we have $1,500 in profit potential in this trade if gold goes up.
The problem is you've got $472 in loss right there. That's what I'm trying to shift. It's the $5 wide strikes that are throwing us off here.
I think what you have to do is bring that 425 put down to the 420.
So let's go to the table, the 425 put to the 420. It's still not doing it.
And then go back to analysis and see what we're working with.
So here you've got a $300 loss.
Well, people know how to use options. You can shift these and go and look at your analysis page and see, what am I willing to risk? What am I willing to risk a little bit in that downward move? I don't have that real unlimited downside loss until we hit 385 for that profit potential to the upside. You can play with the strikes and shift them to get it to what risk you're looking for, or risk reward you're looking for.
Kind of breaking things down to their simplest point of view. You're using the put spread, however wide you want to make it. That's your buffer. That's where you're saying, I want to smooth out my P&L and I don't want to be long that product until the width of that spread. Then you're using a covered call. You're using the extrinsic value of a call to pay for it. That's it.
I actually liked that weekly. I know this is break even 385. That one was 402. I actually liked the weekly, and I wouldn't mind putting that in.
I like them in weeklies a lot. That's my go-to move. Let's walk. We'll do this. I'm going to go to that again. I like it because you can buy something too.
So we're just in the 4-day buying a put spread. It was the 409, 402. We're getting We're paying 219 for that. So look for a call that's worth 219. That 415 call is. So Liz sold that 415 put. She shifted it down. I don't think we need to, but when you shift it down, you can see on the curve view here we have a small loss of $97
loss right there
in between that if we want to eliminate, you could shift that put down.
So I was, you can shift it to here. I was just gonna do that because we're gonna buy something too. It's only for a week, so you can still make $500 here. So now you have a 43 cent where you could purchase something. And I can go here. No, we're using $1,700 to make 400. It's not bad.
But shift it up in case gold keeps falling. I don't want to risk too much. If we're putting this on in our account here, let's not risk too much because sometimes gold falls and it builds momentum. So we don't want to risk too much in this gold trade.
$800.
Yeah, and if it pops up, if gold is down $7 today, pops up tomorrow or the next day, we can make $374. If not, we've got defined risk on this one. I don't mind buying something to define our risk.
Okay, let's ship this. So we've got a buffer, and now this is a bufferless and Jenny style, right? Like we use the synthetics. Instead of using stock and a covered call, we've got the in the money put. Instead of saying we want to use $7,000, we shifted our strikes a wee bit and bought something. So we're using $828 to make $374. This is a bullish trade, but we will not lose until 407.
It's just a short-term weekly trade, looking for a bounce in gold. If it goes down, there's a little bit of risk. And what is our risk in between that 409 and 402?
It's going to be a little bit more than we probably wanted, but that's okay. Well, hold on. Come on. It's $125.
Well, I'm fine with that. I risk 125 in case gold pops up. We can make 374.
It's shifted. It's pushed. Let's see if we can get filled.
Okay.
I'm glad we went through that. I know these are a little bit more complex trades, but Tasty Nation's the smartest option traders in the world, in my opinion.
They certainly are. They certainly are.